It certainly is, yes, thanks Ian. The car's coming up to the grid. It will be a rolling start, 25-minute race for the Classic Touring Car Racing Club's Classic Thunder, Blue Oval Saloon Series and the Jaguars as well. It's a big grid to go through, so we'll take you through the lineup. Pole position in this grid based on the results of yesterday's race is Jason West in his BMW M3. And another BMW alongside Brian Bransom, number 126. Jason West carrying our onboard camera as well. Row 2 is the man we've just heard from, Sam Wilson, in the number 20 Aston Martin. Ricky Can is the car's owner, not racing this weekend, though it is Sam Wilson on row 2. Alongside him, number 100, Andy Robinson in his awesome Ford Falcon V8 supercar from Australia. Row 3 is the Blue Oval Series winner from yesterday, Mike Manning in the Sierra Cosworth, alongside number 240, Jasvir Sapra. He's jumped out of one BMW and into another after the qualifying session we've just seen. Row 4, number 17, Simon Light in his awesome V8 engine Ford Capri, alongside number 26, Paul Cook in his BMW. Row 5, number 85, another BMW M3 for Paul Wood, and number 50, Abby Eaton, we just heard from at the wheel of the Holden Commodore. Row 6, number 30, Gavin Dunn, another BMW, and 123, AJ Owen in his Honda Civic. Row 7, more BMWs, David Jefferson, number 128, in his M3, alongside the E30 M3 of number 4, James Everard. That's a good run in that yesterday. Row 8, more BMWs, 91 Oliver Owen and 96 Ian Craig. The ninth row, the first of the Jags, Mike Seaborn in number 58, not in his usual XJS, he's in Derek Pearce's XK8 this weekend. Starts alongside Craig Owen, number 9 in the Sierra Cosworth. On row 10, number 2, Sam Daffin in a Ford Fiesta, and number 44, Guy Conyu's Jaguar XJS, little and large, on row 10. Another Fiesta on row 11, the ST of Will Hunt, number 70, alongside number 444, that's Chris McGinley's BMW. Row 12, number 14, Jack Robinson in his new Jaguar XK8, new build for this year, alongside the 81 of Matthew Skidmore, and he's in his Austin Mini Clubman, very much a special saloon type of car, that one, very modified Mini. Row 13 is the reigning Blue Oval Series champion James Dunkley in his Ford Fiesta XR2, alongside the XJS Jaguar of Tom Lenthal, number 77. Row 14 is the new Jaguar S-Type of Andrew Harper, not in the diesel-powered XJ this weekend, in his new S-Type, alongside 54 Rick Walker's XJS. Row 15, number 75, Michael Rudge, he's in a Ford Fiesta, alongside Tim Morant in his number 62 Daimler Sovereign Series 1 in the Jaguar Championship. Lovely looking car that is. 151 Vic Hope heads up row 16. He's in a Honda Civic alongside 65 Simon Lewis, another Series 1 XJ6. Row 17 is number 63 Andrew Maynard in a Jaguar XJ40. That's Mike Seaborn's old car, alongside 45 David Ringham's XJS. More Jaguars on row 18. 88 Damien Gray in another XJ40. That's the Jaguar Formula 1 liveried car, alongside number 3 Joe Osborne, not to be confused with the GT racer of the same name. Joe Osborne in a Jaguar XJ40. Then a pair of Ford Fiestas, number 7 Saad Qayyum and 175 of Harry Naga. And then we've got some of the drivers that didn't finish yesterday's race. 188 is Tim Evers in a BMW M3. Not an M3, sorry, a BMW 335 he's in. 228 Jason Rudge went off and brought out the red flag in yesterday's race. He starts 40th on the grid if he's there. Then we've got the 66 of Nick Vaughan. Watch for that car coming through if Nick's got it back out there. Just taking a look in the background. Yes, the Audi A3 Turbo is there, alongside what should have been 74 Neil Philpotts, but he's a non-starter with the Mitsubishi. 191 Kirk Armitage's BMW. And 223 Joe Collier, I don't think is going to be there because his Peugeot 206cc space frame car went up in smoke in yesterday's race. And number 15 Tony Davies, we see at the back, he's a non-starter. His Vauxhall Firenze sadly broke down in qualifying yesterday. Big grid of cars though, all the same. Jason West going for his double. We haven't got the reigning Classic Thunder champion Jason Davies with his Sapphire Cosworth. He's not out this weekend. We do have the Blue Oval Saloon Series champion from last year, James Dunkley, the ex-MG racer, among others, in his Fiesta XR2. We also haven't got the reigning Jaguar champion, Tom Robinson, brother of Jack, who's in the XK8. Hopefully we'll see Tom back out later this year. Those Jaguars are going to be a real, well, they're a handful in the dry, never mind in conditions like this. for fireworks from the back, with one or two cars that didn't finish yesterday's race. There's Nick Vaughan. Also Kirk Armitage, the North Yorkshireman in 191, his BMW is down there. We don't seem to have Tim Evers' BMW. Jason Rudge's Fiesta's not there either, he ended up in the gravel yesterday. We know we haven't got Davies and Phil Potts. Obviously no Joe Collier after a very smoky exit from yesterday's race. But it's Jason West on pole, number 76, had a couple of wins last year. The man from Surrey in the underscore BMW alongside Brian Branson. Very successful BMW racer of the last few years. The car that's going to be the biggest handful in this race, I would think, is Andy Robinson's awesome Australian Ford Falcon V8 supercar, one of two that Andy owns, this silver machine in the colours of the great Craig Lowndes. It's also got the Shell Helix livery one, the Dick Johnson John Bow colours from the 1990s. There's James Dunkley, the red Fiesta, the food businessman from Worcestershire. The Auto Reserve parts car there, Andrew Harper, the Jaguar S-Type. There's Andrew Maynard in the Castrol liveried XJ40. Tim Evers is there. There's his BMW, my mistake. There's the E30 M3 of James Everard. That's the safety car. Is it going to unleash them this time? It doesn't look like it. The lights are still on, so I think they are going to do an extra lap to take account of the changing conditions from yesterday. There's that awesome Aston Martin of Sam Wilson. Normally we'd see him share that car with Ricky Cann, but Ricky not out this weekend. There's the Ford Falcon, made all the more menacing, isn't it, by those yellow headlights. There's Abby Eaton we saw in the Holden Commodore. Oliver Owens' red BMW, Ian Craig in the M3 CSL. There's Mike Seaborn in the Derek Pierce car. Derek unable to race this weekend. There's Guy Connew in the number 44, the Bob Tullius lookalike. Bob, the long-time Trans Am and IMSA racer in America. Always raced British cars, Bob Tullius. Even had a Triumph TR8 at one point. He was one of the first to make a success of Jaguar in IMSA GTP. In his team Group 44, hence the number. Board with our pole sitter, Jason West. The underscore BMW. Look up his racing on YouTube as well. Always provides a few light-hearted videos of his racing. Pete's in the Kumho BMW Championship as well, which kicks off its season in a couple of weeks. Former Kumho BMW racer Evelyn Guanic leading them round in the safety car. Get ready to be thunderstruck in just a few corners' time. They're coming through Club Corner at the moment. Jason West just exploring where the wet patches are, knowing where he can feed in the power from this big BMW E46 M3 3.2 litre engine. Robinson weaving to keep those tyres warm. Former Classic Thunder champion. Seaborn first, the Jags. Connew was second in the Jaguars yesterday, and Jack Robinson third, upholding family honour this weekend. There's that little Mini of Skidmore. Quite an appropriate name for these conditions, isn't it? Skidmore. Let's hope he doesn't skid too much and go off. Now getting into position, they'll go, I would imagine they'll get underway this time. The lights are still on the safety car at the moment. When the flashing light goes off on the roof, it means we're going racing. I think it has just been switched off, so yes, we are getting ready to go racing. They form up 2 by 2. What a grid that is! Fourth row of the grid, there's that awesome V8 engine Ford Capri of Simon Light. He had a win here last weekend at Silverstone with the modified Ford series. Mike Manning in the Eggenberger Texaco Sierra look-alike. That really is stunning. Shades of Steve Soper. Where's Andy Rouse to battle with him? We're about to get underway then. In the second race of the weekend for the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons, the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloons and the Berkshire Jag Components Jaguar Challenge. Waiting for the safety car to pull into pit lane, and all BMW front row. Jason West and Brian Bransom. Jason's going to take us up to the start-finish line. Out of Woodcuts, waiting for the power to come on. The revs are up, and the pack is unleashed. Here we go. Down towards Copse Corner for the first time. The BMW's lead into it. West on the inside. Brian Bransom trying to go around the outside. Let's hope everybody gets around Copse Corner okay. Such huge and powerful cars in this race. Let's hope we don't have any spinners. Sam Wilson up there trying to go side by side with West. It's Bransom who's taken the lead around the outside. Brian Bransom leads from Jason West, Sam Wilson, Andy Robinson. Tucked in there in fifth is the turquoise car of Jazz Sapra. Then we've got Mike Manning. Behind him is Paul Cook's BMW. Then AJ Owen in the Honda Civic. He could have an advantage here, the front wheel drive Honda. Whereas Abby Eaton, she runs a bit wide in her Holden Commodore. Now here comes West, drawing alongside Brian Bransom as they come down towards Stowe Corner for the first time. He's going to take the lead on the inside. Is he? No. Brian Bransom a little bit later on the brakes. He could drift wide on the exit, though it is so slippery out there. Somehow Bransom has held it together. Jason West closing up behind. Is he going to have a look at Club Corner? I don't think he's close enough. Down the gears into the left-hander. Bransom leads it. They're just tiptoeing their way around at the moment. I am assessing the conditions. Third place is Wilson, then Robinson, Sapra. Mike Manning is next. Abby Eaton runs wide through Club there, and through goes Ian Craig in the BMW CSL, the white and black checkered car. Seeing his son Ross out in his Honda Civic in the pre-03 touring cars later on. Brian Bransom it is who leads the way. He and Jazz Sapra were sharing a car in the previous session, of course, sharing Jazz's grey BMW in Brit Car Trophy. Jazz Sapra in the top five in the turquoise BMW, a little bit further back in this field. It's the two M3s that start to pull away at the front. Jason West looking for his double, and Jazz Sapra's now got past Andy Robinson. He's had a bit of a moment there at Village, I think, in that huge Ford Falcon. I've said it before on BARC TV, it's not until you stand next to that Aussie V8 supercar you realise just how massive it is. It'd be great if we could have had Alex Sidwell here with one of his collection of Holden Commodores. Then it would be the classic Aussie battle, Ford against Holden. We've got the older Holden Commodore of Abby Eaton out there. Peter Brock look-alike. So the two BMWs go clear. They come round to complete lap number one here at Silverstone, separated by just over a quarter of a second. And Jason West is not holding back here. He's having a go at Brian Bransom for the lead. Into Copse Corner through the long right-hander. Rumble in the background as he puts a wheel onto the curb on the exit up towards the left flick at Maggots. Then it's into the Beckett's complex. This is Maggots into Beckett's. Can he get up alongside? No, a little bit of a slide there from Jason West. It's still Bransom who leads the way. Further back in the order, Mike Manning in fifth overall, now leading the Blue Oval Saloon Series, and one place behind him is AJ Owen. I said that Honda Civic could go well in the wet. He's gained 6 places. Andy Robinson, I can tell you, has pulled into the pits, as meanwhile Jason West going for the outside into Stowe Corner. That rarely works, whatever the conditions. He'll give it a try on the outside. Can he pull alongside Brian Bransom? He's having a good go here. Look at this from Jason West. He's now got the line for the club complex. They head out of Vale. Is he going to do it on the inside? Yes, he's got it. Great bit of driving by Jason West. Takes the lead. Got the line on the outside coming out of Stowe, so he had the inside for club. There's Wilson's Aston Martin in third. It's Sapra fourth. As we said, Andy Robinson has unfortunately pulled the V8 supercar into the pits. Take a quick look back to see who's leading the Jaguars. It's Jack Robinson in 17th place, just ahead of Mike Seaborn, the two XKs racing together. It's Jason West who has taken the lead. West from Guildford in Surrey. leads Brian Branson, number 126. He comes from Norwich. Chase is back on now for Branson. 2 leaders through the loop into Aintree. Sam Wilson in the big Aston in 3rd place. He leads his class. All 3 of these cars leading their classes, all based on engine size. Mike Manning leading the Blue Oval Saloon Series. He's way ahead of all the other Fords. James Dunkley is the 2nd. He's all the way down in 20th place. And Craig Owen, Sierra Cosworth in 3rd. Jason West sideways there coming out of Brooklands. He's really taking some risks here as he tries to put clean air between himself and Branson. Wilson is 3rd. We'll pick up some of the class battles further down the order when we can. Sam Wilson in Ricky Can's Aston Martin 3rd. There's Jasper Sapra. His wipers have stopped working, so he could end up in problems here. Here comes AJ Owen. More nimble Honda Civic, coping well with the wet conditions on the back of that beautiful Sierra of Mike Manning. Mike Manning, over 40 years of racing experience. He's raced everything: motocross, rallycross, hill climbs, Euro car, saloon cars, you name it, he's had a go in it. AJ Owen, the former Pre-03 touring car champion in his Honda Civic, based on the livery of the Hondas in BTCC in the early 2000s. Further back, Ian Craig is up to 7th in the BMW CSL. 8th behind him is the number 26 BMW, that's Paul Cook. Paul Wood, number 85, and Simon Light in the Capri, now rounding out the top 10. Abby Eaton's dropped back a little in the Holden. Have we had any more retirements from this one? Doesn't look like it. Stowe corner. Oh, and AJ Owen sideways. He's lost it there. Now, has he been able to save that? We'll wait and see. I hope he hasn't gone into the gravel because he was having such a good run there. No, he has saved it. Just planted the throttle there on the outside, I would wager. He's just out of shot there. He must have just slid the thing round and has kept it going. Only lost a few seconds there. Now he's trying to catch back up to the back of the Sierra. There's Ian Craig. He's up to 7th. Behind him, that is, I think, the BMW of Paul Wood in 8th place, the black and orange machine. 9th is Cook in the 26, and here's the battle in the Jaguars further back. There is Jack Robinson. I think he's still, he's still leading the Jaguars down the lower reach of the top 20. There's Kirk Armitage, 191, a couple of spots behind him coming through from the back of the grid. Robinson, this new Jaguar XK8, built in 3 months by the Swallows Racing team. Craig Owen, Sierra Cosworth on his tail, and up ahead of them, that's James Dunkley. His little Fiesta going well, closing up on one of the BMWs there. That's the treble 4, the M3 GTR of Chris McGinley. There's Mike Seaborn. There goes James Dunkley, the reigning Blue Oval champion. He's raced an MG Midget a few years ago. Kirk Armitage has got ahead of Owen and Robinson now. Here's the leader. The gap that time through was 1.788 seconds for West over Branson. Still Wilson in 3rd. We've got plenty of time to go yet. We're just under 17 minutes. A longer race today at 25 minutes. It's Paul Cook in his BMW, and he's coming under fire from Simon Light in that incredible V8 engine Capri. Just look at that. Absolutely wild, that car. Gavin Dunn, long-time BMW racer behind them, won the Aston Martin Owners Club Intermark series a few years ago with that number 30 M3. Very much a super touring look-alike. Shades of the likes of Roberto Ravaglia and Joe Winkelhoff from the mid-90s. There's the 30 M3, that's a DTM look-alike. James Everard, ex-classic Alfa Romeo racer. Further back in the order, a clutch of Jaguars. 63 is Andrew Maynard in the XJ40, the ex-Mike Seaborn car. Looking lovely in its Castrol livery. Of course, it was an IMSA GTP Jaguar prototypes run in those colours. Simon Light still ahead of Gavin Dunn, who's got ahead of Paul Cook now. There's James Everard with the yellow headlamps in the background. Just behind him was number 128. I think it's still the 128 car there of David Jefferson. It's still West from Branson at the front. They've gone way ahead of Sam Wilson's Aston Martin. But there are battles in the classes further down the field everywhere you look. I believe just the one retirement so far, Andy Robinson's Falcon, sadly. I know Andy was feeling a bit under the weather coming into this weekend. Jack Robinson continues to set the Jaguar pace. He's in 21st overall. He's 3 seconds clear of Mike Seaborn. There he is in the other XK8, Derek Pearce's car. Derek Pearce has been racing Jaguars for as long as I can remember. Started out in a Mark II saloon. Here's the battle between Maynard, David Ringham in the 45, the Powerbell Services XJS. The also reserve parts car of Andrew Harper from Derbyshire, second season of racing. They're being lapped by the race leader Jason West. I know Andrew Harper will be being cheered on by his son Thomas, up-and-coming kart racer. See the Andrew Harper car in the colours of the famous Silk Cut Jaguars there. Mentioning Powerbell Services, they're Jaguar racing normally upheld by Colin Philpott in his XJS. Unfortunately, that blew its differential in testing earlier in the week and he was unable to race. Should see him back out soon though. Also James Ram, the former champion, is currently putting together a new engine, we're told, for his XJS. Here's a challenge on for third place. The two light blue cars, it's pale blue and orange Gulf colours against turquoise. Who raced in turquoise? Leighton House in Formula 1. Here it's Jasvir Sapra, and he's going for third. They lap Sad Kayoum in his Ford Fiesta. Sapra, the man from Coventry, goes for the inside. Not close enough to Sam Wilson in the big Aston, though. Incredible looking car. Looks more like a top fuel funny car dragster almost, that Aston. They're coming up to lap this trio of Jaguars. Wilson just about holding third at the moment. Still leading the Blue Oval cars is Mike Manning, way ahead of his opposition in 5th overall. The next Blue Oval Series car is James Dunkley in 19th and Craigo in 20th. The Jaguar leaders are 21st and 22nd behind them, Robinson and Seaborn. Third Jaguar is Guy Connew in 25th. 13 minutes of the race still to go, so it could all change. There's Mike Manning in the Sierra, coping well with no headlamps. AJ Owen behind him after that mistake at Stowe earlier on. He leads his class, Classic Thunder Class C. Class A is led by Branson, Class B by West, the overall leader. Then there's the two historic classes, Classes H1 and H2. H1 is led by Sam Wilson. Class H2, the only entry was Neil Philpotts in the Mitsubishi Starion. He was a non-starter. Class S for space frame cars, the only entry in that Joe Collier. He went out yesterday. The other classes, in the Blue Oval Saloons, Mike Manning leads Class S. Class D is led by James Dunkley, and Class C, the only entry there is Sam Daffin. We should have seen Stuart Kay's Ford Capri in Class C. The chairman of the Classic Touring Car Racing Club sadly had to pull out of the weekend due to illness, so get well soon, Stuart Kay. Oh, Simon Light has pulled into the pits, unfortunately. The Ford Capri is out. Not a good weekend for Capris, unfortunately. What about the classes in the Jaguars? Well, the classification there, Class A is for standard cars, and then it goes up the more modified your car is. The most modified cars in Class D. Class A, that's being led by Andrew Harper, class champion last year. Class B, there's only one entry, that's Jack Robinson. In Class C, the lead there, just looking down the timing screen, is with Mike Seaborn. And Class D for the full race modified cars is Guy Connew. So that's a summary of the classes. And now AJ Owen, now they're through the back markers, he's getting up with Mike Manning in the battle for 5th place. Still West from Branson, leads by just under 2 seconds at the front of the field. Sam Wilson third, some 20 seconds back. Jasvir Sapra is on his tail. Well, he's dropped back to about 2.5 seconds behind the Aston last time through, in 4th place in the BMW. But it's Manning and Owen. Craig still 7th in the BMW. And then Paul Wood, Gavin Dunn and David Jefferson round out the top 10, as James Everard has pulled into the pits as well. The E30 M3 sadly out. A few cars running into a few gremlins, and Andrew Maynard was nearly in trouble there, sliding the XJ40. There are the leaders, lapping the Mini of Matt Skidmore. I wonder if we'll see that machine out at the Mini Festival later this year at Brands Hatch. You might see Matt Skidmore in the fastest Mini in the world race. Harvey Deeth usually wins that in his space frame Mini with a Radical engine in it. Yes, really. I wonder if we'll see the Mini Quattro, Mini body on an Audi Quattro chassis. You can do anything with a Mini if you set your mind to it. It's BMW's up front here, lapping Sam Daffin. There he is, his very smart Ford Fiesta. He competes in the modified Ford series with that machine as well. Here come the leaders. Jason West lapping the Jaguar leaders. Now there's Mike Seaborn giving chase to Jack Robinson, who dives to one side at Beckett's. That's the overall leaders through. Jack Robinson still leading the Jags. The beautiful Swallows Racing newly built XK8. A couple of years ago we saw Chris Boone win the Jaguar title in his XK8, the first driver to do so in one of the more modern machines. Here comes that battle for 5th. Mike Manning ahead of AJ Owen. We saw another Jag go through behind them there. That's the 54 car of Rick Walker, and here's another. That's Simon Lewis, the yellow Series 1 XJ6, the Daimler as well of Tim Morant. So the Jags, most of them now, in fact all of them now, are lapped down. So in there is number 75 Michael Rudge in his Fiesta. Oh, Rick Walker has had a spin at Cops. The green XJS. And a shunt in that at Alton Park last season. Leaders are Zabi. The Fiesta's sliding about there in the background. Sam Daffin is one of them. Jason West continues to lead. Just over 8 minutes of this race to go for the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons, Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series, and the Berkshire Jag Components Jaguar Challenge. Thanks to all your comments on YouTube. To see that a certain Jimmy Broadbent is watching, sim racer extraordinaire. Not racing his Praga this weekend though. We'll hopefully see him back out later this year. Maynard ahead of David Ringham. Andrew Maynard not afraid to get that XJ40 sideways, effectively a Series 4 XJ in the Jaguar hierarchy. XJ40 wasn't as popular as its predecessors though, sadly. Here's a battle between Kirk Armitage, who started from the back. He had a collision with Neil Philpotts in yesterday's race, catching Oliver Owen, so he's now up into 13th place from the back. Kirk Armitage, who's been a regular in the Northern Saloon and Sports Car Championship for over the last few years, based at Croft by the Darlington District Motor Club. Mike Manning has pulled away again from AJ Owen in the Civic. There's another of the Jaguars, that's the number 3, Joe Osborne, one of our newcomers this year in the XJ40. That's another Swallows Racing car. Joe Osborne runs the parts division at Swallows Racing. Oh, and the leader getting squeezed wide there. Look at this. Excuse me, he says to the back markers. That's Tim Morant and Michael Rudge being lapped. What a contrast. The big Daimler forcing the Fiesta out wide. Where else can you see that in club racing? A big old Series 1 Daimler and a Fiesta XR2 battling it out. Jason West laps Simon Lewis, who's been racing that Jaguar for many years, the other Series 1. Mike Rudge having the pace there on Tim Morant. the big, almost limousine-like compared to the Fiesta, the big Daimler. They are loving this out there, regardless of the fact they're a lap down. This battle at the moment, looking at what position they're in, I have to look down the timing screen. Yeah, this is a fight for 28th place. But even so, they're loving it. Motorsport should be fun. It certainly is here at Silverstone today. There are the leaders. West from Branson, separated by just under 2 seconds. And, whoa, Brian Branson flings the BMW sideways. He's loving this as well. Jason West continues to lead. Over the line they go. Just under 5 minutes on the clock. Next man to be lapped is going to be Andrew Harper in the Jaguar S-Type. There he is. Oh, we didn't see the leaders there at Beckett's. They go either side of him. That was a bit of a Code Brown moment for Andrew Harper there. Nearly got a double BMW. Harper eased off considerably there as a result of that, was to calm his nerves, I think. Down the straight they come. Still leading the Jaguars is Jack Robinson. He's 19th in the overall classification. Mike Manning still dominating the Blue Oval Saloons in the Sierra Cosworth. Big twitch there from the race leader Jason West as they came out of Stowe Corner and into Vale. There goes Mike Manning over the line. He's lapped Guy Connew in the Group 44 Bob Tullius lookalike XJS. Abby Eaton's been lapped in her Holden, sliding the Aussie beast around there. She's in 14th place, so everybody up to there has been lapped. Now the 3 car looks like it's slowing. That's Joe Osborne. It's his first season of racing. That's the ex-Jack Robinson car, so it's previous custodian. Let's just put him a lap down. Now Mike Seaborn has got Jack Robinson in his sights here. In Derek Pearce's XK8, the grey machine. It's almost like a stealth bomber in that grey, doesn't it? Up onto the back of its class rival, its championship rival. Leaders lap another couple of Jags. I think that's the second time those two, Maynard and Ringham, have gone a lap down. On board with Jason West as he comes through Luffield. BMW nose diving out wide. 2.5 minutes to go. I think this will be the start of the last lap. Take a look to the right, see if the marshals have got the board out there. Yes, last lap for Jason West, looking for a double. There's number 26, that's Paul Cook in his BMW. He's currently running in 13th place, dropped back a bit, was running in the top 10 early on. Rick Walker's got going again after his spin. He goes a lap down. It's looking good for West. He's pulled away from Brian Branson now by a few more tenths, and he's still sliding around there. He's loving this. Seen a few twitches from Jason West, a couple of slides from Branson too, going into Brooklands. Mike Rudge slowing there in the Fiesta. We saw him battling the Jaguars early on. Through Stowe Corner for what will be the final time. West comes up to lap Kirk Armitage, who's now 12th. Good run from the back. One car we have seen come through as well, we haven't seen much of him, is Nick Vaughan from last on the grid in the turbocharged Audi A3. He's up to 10th from the back of the field now. Here's Mike Manning. One race leader lapping another, if that makes sense. Mike Manning lapping Jack Robinson, who's still holding off Mike Seaborn. Flash of flame from the Sierra exhaust. experienced Welshman, drawing on his rallycross experience, I think, here in these conditions. Just over 2 seconds in it for the lead. They're way ahead of everybody else, the two BMWs. Jason West last time round did the fastest lap of the race, 2:28.17. It looks like it's going to be a first win of the season for Jack Robinson. I think that'll be his first overall Jaguar win. It was his brother Tom who did almost all the winning last year to take the title in his supercharged XJR 6, but not racing that car this year, we're told. Jason West sliding his way home for a second win of the weekend in the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons. Second overall win as well. Here he comes out of Woodcote. Only going to put his foot down now, up towards the line. Jason West makes it 2 wins out of 2 at Silverstone. He's in the spray there somewhere. There he is. Second place for Brian Branson. And a long way back in third is going to be Sam Wilson in the Aston Martin. Kirk Armitage, good run from the back. He finishes 12th the lap down. Paul Cook just behind him. So we'll have 11 cars on the lead lap out of the 40 that started. Our Jaguar lead battle. There is our race leader in the Blue Oval Saloon Series, and AJ Owen still sliding around in his spray. Great stuff. Abby over the line in the Holden, she comes in 14th. Still waiting for our third place man to cross the line. He's a long way back. There's Sam Wilson, slapping James Dunkley and a few others as he crosses the line. Jasvir Sapra is 4th. He was less than 2 seconds behind Wilson at Flagfall. And it's going to be Mike Manning in 5th place. Here he comes, lapping Andrew Harper's Jaguar S-Type. AJ Owen in 6th place. He's going to win his class in the Classic Thunder Saloons. They come in for 5th and 6th places. And Mike Manning wins the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series. Just waiting for Jack Robinson to come home to win the Big Cats. Here he comes. He's still ahead of Mike Seaborn. It's a first win for the Swallows Racing XK8, and sliding across the line in celebration, Jack Robinson wins the Berkshire Jag Components Jaguar Challenge, just ahead of yesterday's winner Mike Seaborn. Ian Craig 7th overall. Paul Wood is 8th in his BMW. Gavin Dunn and Nick Vaughan. Vaughan the Prawn, as he's known, will complete the top 10. Good run through from the back of the grid after he ended up in the gravel at Copse Corner yesterday. Remaining runners over the line. Looks like we've only lost a couple of cars in that one, everybody being very sensible indeed there, given the conditions. We only had 3 retirements, in fact, all of them apparently mechanical related. We lost James Everard's BMW E30 M3, Simon Light's Capri, and Andy Robinson's Ford Falcon. A win for Jason West, the winning margin 2.294 seconds. He got the fastest lap as well, 2 minutes 28.170. Well done, Jack Robinson. That's his first win in the Jaguar Challenge. Mike Manning completely dominating the Blue Oval Saloon Series in his Sierra Cosworth RS500 this weekend. James Dunkley was 2nd, and Craig Owens Sierra Cosworth 3rd. Robinson and Seaborn winning their classes in the Jaguars, classes B and C. Class D went to Guy Connew. Class A, further down, was won by Andrew Harper. In Classic Thunder, Class A went to Brian Branson, Class B to Jason West. Class C was won by AJ Owen. Class H1 went to Sam Wilson's Aston Martin, and Class H2 there were no starters, nor Class S. In Blue Oval Saloons, Class C went to Sam Daffin, Class D went to James Dunkley. Class F, it would have been Jason Rudge, but he was a non-starter, the only entry in this class this weekend. Class S went to Mike Manning, and Class W to Saad Kayu. Those are your class winners. Very busy race indeed, a 40-car grid. We can now hand down to Ian Waterhouse in Parc Ferme.
Yeah, welcome everybody down to Parc Ferme. As you can see, it's almost a little bit of deja vu, isn't it, from yesterday. Mr. Jason West picking up the weekend. I think we might be about to get clobbered by this as well. We don't want to do that. Jason, what a great way to start the season, a pair of wins. Tell us about that one.
That was brilliant. Brian kept me very, very honest through that. It was interesting going through the back markers, but yeah, that was an awesome race. Love it in the wet.
You make a good point, actually. Such a big grid. I think there was 22 rows of cars. Does it become a bit hairy out there at times?
There's a few places, because the closing speed with us on full wets and cars behind on track day tyres or even road tyres, there's some big differences in the speed that you're going into corners, so you have to be careful.
Jason, perfect start to the weekend. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? Best of luck for the rest of the season as well. I'm sure we'll see you as well. Well done. You've got to be over there as well. You've got to do your media duties, I'm afraid. Let's keep on going, shall we? Brian Branson, second place again. Mike Manning, of course, picking up another win for the Boston Blue Oval Saloons. I'm trying to find where everybody is here. Mr. Cook over here is just having a quick look underneath the bonnet. Everything okay?
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Love your helmet, by the way. Look at that. We know who that's in honour of, don't we? What was it like out there? Quite hairy at times due to the greasiness of the track?
Very greasy. I was on the wrong type of wets. It's what we run in the BMW car club, and it's what all I've got. But everybody else seems to be on proper race wets. Yeah, I had no grip whatsoever. But I was only here to test the engine this weekend, and I've totally enjoyed myself, so I'll be back.
You won't be able to see it. He is smiling underneath that helmet. Thanks for talking to us. Congratulations. Let's keep going as well. Look at the Jag. We know how much I love a Jag. Don't you know how much I love a Jag?
That was more of a drift than a race.
Was it?
Yeah.
They're so huge, these things, aren't they?
Yeah,
is there much standing water out there? Has it all been clear?
No, it's just really greasy at the moment, I'd say. There's some standing water on the new pits over there, but just greasy otherwise. And I couldn't get to handle with the tyres today, so I was just drifting everywhere. I had a bit of a Kylie moment at Cops here, but kept going. It was good. Made it anyway to finish with one piece, so that's good.
Excellent. Good weekend. Thanks for talking to us. Let's keep going down. I just want to see if there is anybody else. Brian, see if we can grab Brian Branson. Just a quick note as well. Jaguar as well. Jack Robinson taking the win there. Mike Seaborn, who won yesterday's race, in second place. Brian, can we just jump in very, very quickly? You're going to get him this season, aren't you?
Yeah, what it is, I know there's every racing driver's book of excuses ever, but I've actually got a wrong gearbox in. It's too long a ratio, so it's not got like the punch out of the corners like an M3 gearbox. So, but yeah, that's good fun anyway.
That's what I like to hear. I've got to go find Jazz. I promised I'd speak to him today, didn't I, as well, at some point? There we go. All right, I just wanted to see if anybody else about if we've still got time. I think we are going to have to hand back, though, because we are about to get underway for the pre-93.
We've got Brit car as well.
Fantastic. Yes, you have. Yeah, pre-93 O3s as well coming up. So we're going to have to hand back to Dave to take you through that one. Enjoy.